I look at there's two different ways of looking at life, blame or accountability. So if we blame, okay, we keep blaming. It's like, we keep doing it. There's nothing bad about it. But it's something to think about, because our kids, when you ask them, like, why did you do this? Why did you bring drugs? They're like, he told me to. They did it. It's always somebody else. Welcome to Miami. Whatever comes to my mind at that moment. So what we do a lot is we do emotional intelligence and belief intelligence. So I'll give you an example. Anybody ever been pissed off in here?
Yeah.
Okay. Your hand went up the fastest. Saw it. Awesome. Thank you. So you don't have to tell me when, but can you remember a time you were pissed off? Did they piss you off, or did you let yourself get pissed?
Probably both.
Okay. And what was the purpose of the pissed offness? Like, what was the value? Like, did it help you or did it not help you?
It didn't.
So when you say a little bit of both, how did they make you pissed? Did they reach into your brain and shake it up a little bit?
No, it's just push buttons.
Push buttons. So did they piss you off, or did you let yourself get pissed?
I probably let myself.
I like that. So I look at there's two different ways of looking at life, blame or accountability. So if we blame, okay, we keep blaming. It's like, we keep doing it. There's nothing bad about it. But it's something to think about, because our kids, when you ask them, like, why did you do this? Why did you bring drugs? They're like, he told me to. They did it. It's always somebody else. Not always. 95% of the time, whatever percent, right? High percent. So it's interesting, when I get to take accountability for my life, my actions, my thoughts, my patterns, like, do you believe everything you see? Do you believe everything that you hear? Do you believe everything you think? So how do you create a belief? I like the thought. Like, this is good. I like that. And if you don't know the answer today, there's no problem with it, because I've done that. I do this all day, right? So I'm really good at this stuff. I could go to you and be like, tell me more about law enforcement, and you'd like smash me. I'd be like, okay, keep teaching me. So do you know how you create a belief?
When you believe in something, so you automatically create to believe in something. So it's just depending on facts and truth.
Okay, facts, yeah. So facts that you see or experience, right? So I'll give you an example. So they have studies from like 0 to 5 or 0 to 7 years old is when our subconscious is created and formed. It's really actually minus 9 months. So it's really in the womb. So our belief system, our subconscious, is like our supercomputer. And we'll dive up a little bit more into it later. But our beliefs are formed, our operating system is formed to be able to handle a lot and endure it, but it based on our mother, how she works out, what she eats, how she functions, if she does drugs, if she doesn't do drugs, if like whatever happens in the womb from 0 to let's say 5 or 7 years old is how we start framing our beliefs. It's really interesting because your beliefs are built upon beliefs. So when you went to the academy, they're like, do this is how we do it, wear this shirt. Like you already knew this was a shirt because somebody told you it was a shirt. So our beliefs are created based upon past, and because other people created a belief or a thought or a name, that then we said, okay, I'm good with that, and then we took it and used it. The emotions, I find, are created because of past experiences. So we have two different contexts of how we live life, and I'll dive into that a little bit later when we do a couple games, a couple experiences. But we either live life either trying to create peace, happiness, joy, or we're in fear, anger, pain. And so it's interesting which one serves us and which one doesn't. A pain can serve us, or an anger can serve us if somebody attacks you, right? And you need to get your body, like it's a fight or flight mode. Doesn't mean it serves in every experience or for every outcome. So it's interesting when I say, did it serve you or did it help you or hurt you? It can help or it can hurt depending on what your vision or what your purpose are. Most people, what they do is they live in feelings and circumstances. over their vision and purpose. So do you believe you have a choice on how you feel? So if you choose, do you have a choice on how you like move around, like go to the bathroom, stuff like that? Do you have a choice on your beliefs? So if you have choices on what you think, feel, hear, create beliefs, create emotions, you can pretty much create whatever you want. You can recreate, like you could say, this is a chair right now, but you can call it a la-la, right? Like you could literally recreate a belief on what things are called, named. And so what I find is from like, let's say 0 to 2 years old, we're told to stand up and talk. And from let's say 4 years old to 22, we're told to sit down, be quiet, and look at the back of somebody's head. Read a book, take a test. Conceptually. And at 22, we're then told, now go into the world and be amazing, resourceful humans, and create an amazing life, and build a community, and love your family, but we're never taught a lot of this stuff. And so what we've done over the last 9 years is come up with some really cool framework, and these are 2 of them, creating vision, purpose, mission, team, and commitment. And then on inside, it's understand self, own it, understand to connect, understand needs, and then create value with somebody. Because everybody does something for value for them. So if you become why'd you become law enforcement in the beginning?
Something I always wanted to
Help somebody out, serve community, protect and serve. So you did it so it's interesting how he did it to be able to serve somebody else, but really it was like his vision and there was a bigger purpose behind it is to serve. Like you could have done it in 50 different ways to be able to serve. You could become a teacher. You could become a garbage man. You could become a firefighter. Like there's so many ways that we can serve community, but this is something that you thought, you're like, wow, that's what I want to create with my life. So what I find a lot of time is kids do not have 2 things. They don't have a vision. They might have a vision like I'm going to become an NFL player, and they're in juvenile hall at 18 years old, and they've never played sports for the last 4 years. Super challenging to become an NFL player, if that's the situation, right? The other side is that one time I had a kid that was 10 years old. They got arrested for 2 cell phones. Nobody ever asked him why he was stealing cell phones. And I found out that if he didn't, his mother would beat him up if he wasn't able to steal to be able to pay for rent. That's the fact. And at the end of the day, understanding that and then watching him grow throughout the next year was amazing, because he said he wanted to be an NFL player. I said, awesome. Then I said, what's your second career? He goes, I want to be an NBA player. I go, awesome. That's amazing. Let's write that down. I go, what's your third career non-sports athlete? He goes, what, I can't be an athlete anymore? I go, well, at some point, athletes' bodies break down. And I played 2 sports professionally. I believe you can do the same thing, but let's prepare you for the third. He goes, I'd like to own a company. And so his vision was laid out, but what he didn't understand was how much time and effort he had to put in to achieve those goals. So he didn't understand that you have to there's no more video games, kid. Like, you get to go home and do workouts off season. You get to go home on weekends, not go to parties on Friday, Saturday nights so your body breaks down from drugs or alcohol, but you get to be focused on your vision. So I find mostly kids aren't attached to their vision, and that's why they go attach themselves to something else so they can feel. Because the peer pressure, the negative peer pressure in our society today, with the Kim Kardashians and whoever else is on TV, pushing them to do some crazy party stuff, is the new, like, God of our kids. It literally is out negative peer pressuring our kids to want to get 10 more likes on Instagram so they can feel special. Because they're not loving themselves. They're trying to find love on everything else. So it's interesting to be able to see how you guys in the schools can add so much value every day, which I know you already do, and be able to support them on the level that a mentor, or maybe they don't have a father or a role model in life, you can add value.